So today I'm going to show you how to completely change their cage. So that means take out all their bedding and stuff from the week and completely change it over to the other set of bedding that I have. So I probably will have everything, like all the supplies laid out, like on the counter or somewhere around the living room before I leave. So you probably won't have to do these first steps, but in the case that I don't have everything laid out, I'll just go through the process and show you where everything is in my apartment. So the first thing we have to do is, obviously they can't be in the cage while you're changing the cage. So they have like a little playpen I set up on the floor, and I layered 3 types of cloths. So I have 2 towels that I'll lay down. And then I have 2 fleeces.
Fleece side.
And this is just so that obviously they're not potty trained, so they don't like pee on my floor. And I have a top sheet, like an old bed sheet that I don't use. If it's not on top of those other pieces of fabric, it'll be excuse me, it'll be hanging up outside, because sometimes I hang it up after they use it so the pee can dry out. So it'll just be right here if it's hanging up. So you just get it down. And then you can just throw the coat hanger, like, this is the only thing I use the coat hanger for, so you can just put it down. So it doesn't have to be like perfectly on the bottom layers or whatever, just enough so that like they're not they can't reach another layer like from inside the playpen, because if they do, they'll pull it up and try to like go under it and stuff. So you just want to make sure it's a flat, completely flat surface that they're walking on. So for the cage, it like clips together, I guess, like all the different hinges. So you just want to make sure that it's clipped and that it's like locked, because they can't like get out or anything. So you can make it into like a rectangle or square, or whatever shape. And then just take everything out of the cage the way you would for a normal, like, average cage cleaning. Get them in their little hides. Sometimes they don't go quickly. Okay. It's good to check out the hides as well, because sometimes they find time to poop during their transportation time. And then just put a toy in there for them. Whatever toy I have like in their cage during the week, I'll throw in there, or like a toy like this that clips to the cage I don't want to untie, I'll just use one of their other toys. So they're good for like, the time. And then back here is where I keep their other cage materials, like the clean set or whatever that you're going to change it into. So you want to grab their 2 hides, another top sheet, another cage fleece, and then this goes under the cage fleece. So you just want to get this stack. It'll be right there if I don't already have it laid out. And then if you could just close all my doors, that would be great. Turn off the light. Oh, one thing also I forgot is I'll have like I have a reusable bag, like grocery bag, that I use to put all their dirty stuff in for them. Just so it's not touching like any of my actual clothes or anything. So just have this out, and as you're taking stuff out of the cage, you just put it in here. And then the last things you gotta get out, I have another set of hay feeder, another water bottle, and I have 2 puppy pee pads that line the bottom of the cage. So you gotta get those. Again, I'll probably have these out, but if not, this is where they are. And then the hay is either up there or it'll be under the table. The extra food is right here. But honestly, I don't really change their hay or their food when I change their cage unless they're like completely out. The only thing I completely change over is the water.
Show the items again, because you grabbed them pretty quick.
So this is the other hay feeder. This is the other water bottle. And then these are the puppy pee pads, and I'll show you like how to lay them out. So just gonna set these down for now. Don't need them quite yet. So then it's easier to pull the table out from the wall, because you're gonna have to like be going around all sides of it. The vacuum cleaner will probably like unplug or whatever when you pull it out, so that's no big deal. So just pull everything forward, and then you want to go ahead and take everything out. So the old water bottle from the week, the hay, you kind of unclip, but you don't want to discard it yet, because I honestly just transfer the hay they were already eating to the new hay rack, since the new hay rack is like already clean. And then just put the water bottle in the sink to rinse that off later. And then sometimes I'll have a toy that like clips to the side. Sometimes I won't, but that's just like, just unclip it.
I was about to put the camera on it. Trying to follow everything.
Yeah. So then the really the bulk of everything is unclipping all these paper clips or whatever. The reason why I have them is that if the fleece is not clipped to the side of the cage, they will try to pull it down and go under it. And I don't like that. Just because they shouldn't be doing that. So gotta clip everything all the way around. So just gotta unclip. I don't really clean off the fleece right now, because I'm just gonna dump it out like on my balcony. So I just leave all the hay and all the poop on there, especially because it's gonna be washed after this anyway. So there's no need to like clean it as you would for a daily cleaning. And then it doesn't matter like if you reuse the paper clips or if you grab other ones from what I have on the side of the table. They're all the same. I don't like change them or anything. And sometimes some of the paper clips, like in the corners, it might be hard to see because it'll be like folded over into itself. So you might like forget and try to pull it up and there's still a paper clip there. But once you have this, you just kind of fold it up. And then take it out to the balcony. And then you close the door. You just kind of dump it out. Don't worry about like my apartment or anything, because as you can see, there's woods, so no one is gonna walk back here or even lives back here, so you can just dump everything. It doesn't matter. Just kind of shake it out real good. And then you would take this and put it in this little laundry bag that I have. And then this is super easy, so you just pick it up as well, put it in a laundry bag. And then these are the pee pads. So you just throw these away. And then what I'm gonna do next is just spray that like tarp or whatever bottom casing with a little cage cleaner and just wipe it up. So you get a paper towel. I like to get two so you can like have a little extra padding, but it doesn't really matter. And then just, you know, wipe it up, get around the like edges and stuff too. And it is safe for pets. Like I got a specific like pet friendly like cage cleaner from the store. But since it still is a chemical and it's like wet, I'll just like let that sit for a minute. And then this is when I'll come over here and mess with these other items. So I have some special, or not special, but I have specific like hand towels that I use for them. Like I don't use my own, the kitchen towels that I use for my personal dishes or anything with them. So take these and I'm just gonna rinse off their like plastic hides with just hot water. I don't put any soap on it or anything. And then just take a towel, right? Yeah, they will be like these snow paddings. So that's that, and then you gotta fill up the water bottle. You wanna do it with cold water, because that's, you know, friendlier.
Great explanation.
And then you don't want to like turn it right side up just yet, because it will leak when you first fill it up. So I just lay it like with the spout up until I'm ready to put it into the cage. And then yeah, so that's what I have for now. And then the cleaner should be dry, so we can start putting the new items in. So you just take the puppy pee pads and they go in first on the bottom. They will overlap a little bit, which like is fine, it doesn't matter. You want the white side up, like the side that has more of a texture, because that's what absorbs the pee. So just put that there in the bottom. And then the next thing you get, and here's a new sheet, just like the sheet that I use in their playpen. So I wash the sheet every week, and then I alternate the towels in the fleece from the playpen every week, because they don't get as much like damage, I guess. So then the next thing you put in is just the flat fleece. It has a design. I don't really want the design. But it has a design. It doesn't really matter which way you put it in. Like, it's effective either way. But I just like to put it in face down. Even though I'm not looking at it, I just don't like seeing
I
the
had
design.
no idea you did that.
Yeah.
That's
They
funny.
didn't have any like plain ones, so I was like, well, I'm just gonna make it plain
That's
for my own
hilarious.
eyes. And then the last thing to go in is the fleece. And it's purposefully cut bigger than the actual cage so that there is some room to like put it over the sides to like clip over and stuff. So you just want to put it in the middle, and it doesn't have to be like an exact, like there's no exact measurements or how much has to spill over or anything like that, but just enough for you to clip all the way around. So
And you're throwing it on the back of it. You're like wrapping it around the green part.
yeah, you wrap it around, and you want to make sure that it like can touch the bottom as well. Like you don't want like an air hole. Essentially, you want it to like have enough like leeway where it can lay flat at the bottom of the cage, but still like curl over, if that makes sense. But then you go back and put the paper clips in. You want to make sure you have one. When you have the corners, you want to make sure that you have one on both sides of the corner. Because if not, they will try to bite it and see if they can sneak into the bottom of the cage that way. So you just want to cover all your bases. But then the sides of the cage are pretty straightforward. I maybe do like, I don't know. There's like natural, or not natural, but there's like consistent breaks throughout the cage where like the Velcro has to clip to the wire. So I'll just do like 1 to 2 per like section, I guess. But it doesn't really matter. I guess one thing I do want to amend, just as I'm thinking about it more, is that if you're changing the cage on like I've been gone for several days, then it would still be good to fill up the hay rack. I'm just thinking about that. Like I usually don't fill it up because it's like I'm gonna be here every day and like I'm gonna fill it up tomorrow. But yeah, it would be good to fill it up and give them the veggies too as well. Sometimes I find that I guess the week prior I use less or more, I don't know. I use a different amount of paper clips that I want to use during the current week, or I might have a little bit left over. So you just go in and adjust as necessary. But that's pretty much it. Now all you gotta do is just put everything back in. One thing I like to do just to try to make their little guinea pig lives interesting is to change out their toys from week to week. So I always have one like wooden ball toy. You can see this past week they had the larger one. So then that means this week I'll go in and put the smaller one in there. This used to be a ball. I like to reuse their toys until they're literally like non-existent. So I don't think I've done that in a minute, so I'll put that in there. Put the hides back in there.
Buttercup is ready to go back in on 2 legs.
She always acting like she's somebody's jail. So I just put the new hay rack in there. Although I guess, you know, if I have 2 hay racks, like if I've been gone for a while, I usually put like the 2 hay racks in there at a time. So I guess you can ignore this note if that's the case. But if not, just take it and refill it. It's gonna be a little messy. There's no way to avoid that. But they'll eat it. They'll eat the hay, no matter where it is. So they're fine. And then sometimes there'll be a little bit of like poop at the bottom of the hay rack. So you just can throw that away along with like, I don't know whether to call it like crumbs, but like just little bitty pieces. But like not as long, I guess. So then you just throw that away. Put this in the sink as well with the old water bottle. You can rinse these out or you can leave them. It's not really like an urgent matter. But then you take the new water bottle, and like I said, it's gonna leak when you first try to put it in, so that's why I like to have like a cloth, you can see. And I want a cloth under it so that it doesn't like leave a big wet spot on the actual fleece. So then to get it to stop leaking, sometimes it like can take a minute, but you just like roll, there's like a little ball at the end of the thing, so you just roll it a few times until it stops dripping. It seems good now. It just takes a second. So then just go over here and like, since it is a wet like towel now, just like hang it up. I don't wash these every week since like that's pretty much what I use them for. And then that's pretty much it. Push it back against the wall. And then I guess the last thing to do, I'm gonna plug back in the vacuum cleaner. And then they have some new hides they can use. And really the last thing to do is just take down the playpen and pretty much done. So just pick up their toys from the past week, put those away. So yeah, they're excited. As you can see, their cage is clean. Then you just unclip the playpen, and this we will shake out over the balcony as well, like the top sheet. And just put that back under the table. Fold it up so none of the poop falls out. You're welcome. And like I said, I alternate which one I wash every week, like the towels or the cleats. So I'll either write that down, which one needs to go in the hamper or the laundry bag or whatever, or you can text me.
Any pee on it?
Oh, well, we're gonna wash it.
Oh, true. Because I got that wrong.
Yeah, so the top sheet always goes to be washed. And for the hamper or for the laundry bag, unless I say otherwise, when I book the appointment, you can just leave it outside of my apartment door, and I'll have a friend or a neighbor, like I'll have someone arranged to come pick it up and wash it, so you don't have to worry about that part. Just leave it outside of my door, because they're obviously not gonna have a key. And that's pretty much it.